sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to ABN News. I am Mariam Shalshat, bringing you the global news that matters. In the next half an hour, we'll cover everything from world politics to cultural insights. Stay tuned. India has come a long way in space exploration since its independence 78 years ago. India also awaits eagerly for its first human mission, Gaganyaan.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
14th July 2023. This date marks India's successful soft landing near the moon's south pole, establishing India as the first one to achieve this remarkable feat. The feat of landing a spacecraft in such proximity to the lunar south pole. Chandrayaan 3 is India's third lunar mission and second attempt at achieving soft landing on the moon's surface. On July 14, 2023 at 2:35 p.m., Chandrayaan took off from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. The spacecraft seamlessly entered lunar orbit on 5th of August 2023. The historic moment unfolded when the lander made a successful touchdown near the lunar south pole on August 23, 2023. Chandrayaan 3 is a three-component mission consisting of propulsion module, lander module and rover module. Successful launch of Chandrayaan 3 resulted in major findings of the mission. Chandra's surface thermophysical experiment measured temperatures reaching 70 degrees centigrade. Chandrayaan 3 is significant for the Indian space program, undoubtedly. It makes India part of the elite group of nations, Russia, the US and China, with demonstrated lunar soft landing capability, showcasing its leadership in space technology, including positioning India as a global hub in the new space economy. The reusable launch vehicle technology aids in cost reduction for future launches as well. Within 2 months of achieving a spectacular feat of landing at closest proximity of moon, Indian space scientists took another giant leap. It was time to get as close to the sun. September 2nd, 2023 marked yet another major breakthrough accomplishment for ISRO with the launching of Aditya L1 from Satish Dhawan Space Center at Sriharikota. Aditya L1 is the first Indian mission to study the sun from space, designed to study the sun's dynamics. Aditya L1 spacecraft is equipped with 7 payloads that will observe the sun's photosphere chromosphere. The mission aims to provide valuable insights into the sun's behavior, which will help scientists better understand space weather and its impact on Earth. Aditya L1 spacecraft was inserted in its targeted halo orbit on January 6, 2024. And after a journey of 127 days, the spacecraft reached the L1 point approximately 15 lakh kilometers from Earth. On July 2nd, Aditya L1 spacecraft completed its first halo orbit around the Sun, a complex maneuver that required precise navigation and control. Aditya L1 instruments will provide valuable data to help scientists understand sun behavior better. India's groundbreaking mission Chandrayaan 3 uncovering moon's long-guarded secret and Aditya L1 helping discover sun's various dimensions, thus setting the tone for India's mega space movement. As India celebrates its 78th Independence Day, its space prowess continues to cruise ahead to rule skies and beyond. Sakal Bhatt's report for DD India.
On India's 78th Independence Day, DD India sheds some light on the role that the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, had in Indian freedom struggle.
9th January 1915 marked a watershed moment in the Indian freedom struggle when Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi returned to India after successfully spearheading a civil rights movement in South Africa. The subsequent years saw him emerge as the leader of the freedom struggle, eventually culminating into the country's independence from the British in 1947. Upon his return, Gandhi undertook a journey of India on the advice of his mentor Gopal Krishna Gokhale. In 1917, Gandhi launched Satyagraha, a form of civil resistance movement to fight for the rights of indigo farmers in Champaran in the present-day Bihar state. This was only the stepping stone for Gandhi. Indians from all walks of life joined his campaign, which was based on ahimsa or non-violence, satyagraha and non-cooperation. Gandhi, who was honored with the title of Mahatma or the Great Soul, was vocal about issues that resonated with ordinary Indians. The Dandi March or the Salt Satyagraha was a testament to this. In 1930, Gandhi, along with 78 volunteers, led a march to the coastal town of Dandi in Gujarat. Over the course of more than 20 days, thousands of people joined the march, which saw Gandhi break the salt law imposed by the British. With the call for do or die in 1942, Mahatma Gandhi launched the Quit India movement to end the colonial rule in India. The British responded with a brutal crackdown. Gandhi and other independence leaders, along with thousands of ordinary Indians, were jailed. When Gandhi was released in 1944, the British were in talks with the Muslim League for the partition of India based on religious lines. Gandhi vehemently opposed the partition. When communal violence broke out, he travelled across riot-hit areas calling for peace. On 30th January 1948, Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, was assassinated. To say that this was the end of an era would be an understatement.
From Martin Luther King Jr. to Nelson Mandela, Mahatma Gandhi has influenced leaders across the globe. Decades after independence, he continues to inspire Indians. His ideas like self-sufficient economy not only remain relevant but are intrinsic to India. With camera person Naveen Kumar, this is Annu Kaushik reporting for DD India.
India is revamping the public digital infrastructure with initiatives and schemes that make government benefits and aids accessible to all on equal terms.
Imagine buying a metro ticket in just seconds, that too on your phone. Well, that's just one of the many examples of India's rapid digital transformation. Let's get you more on how India is in the midst of a digital revolution.
In recent years, India has undergone a remarkable digital transformation. Government services are now seamlessly integrated into digital platforms, making access quick and efficient at the grassroots levels.
Instant account opening, instant load disbursement, instant money transfer. Right? So most of the things in India is happening digitally, and instant is the keyword. The banks have gone a step ahead and using more AI, ML and blockchain to make their transaction and usage for the user quite friendly.
Milestones like Jan Dhan accounts, Aadhaar and UPI have empowered millions, ensuring financial inclusion and access to financial services. With over 1.37 billion Aadhaar numbers issued and UPI transactions of over 645 billion USD, the impact is staggering. 110 million farmers now receive direct payments, surpassing the population of Canada and France combined. Tools like DigiLocker offer secure document management, while initiatives like Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, CoWIN and eSanjeevani have connected stakeholders across the healthcare ecosystems, providing access to essential health services.
Bhashni, as you know, is a program to transcend the language barrier. The way it has helped in Digital India is phenomenal. Not only it is basically solving the basic problem of the language divide which exists in the country and creating the artificial intelligence models for the 22 languages, it has also democratized the data sets which have been created in the process of developing these AI models, and also the AI models have been open source. The idea is to democratize the artificial intelligence technology paradigm for the next generation Digital India.
India's digital ecosystem is now a global model. Through India Stack Global, platforms like Aadhaar, UPI and DigiLocker are showcased worldwide.
From local to global, India's journey on becoming a developed nation by 2047 is well on tracks, with digital innovation at its heart. This is Trita Tripathi reporting for DD India.
Looking into more news from India, UN Women India representative Susan Ferguson speaks to DD India about Generation Equality Allies Meet, which will bring together gender advocates from around the globe.
We have with us Susan Jane Ferguson. She is the representative of the United Nations here at UN Women. Susan, thank you for speaking to us again, and glad to have you back on Doordarshan. The event was a wonderful success. Your idea of promoting gender equality and a conversation just beyond the existing subjects was quite exhilarating. What do you plan on achieving from initiatives like these?
We really plan on sort of spreading the messages around gender equality across the country because, you know, UN Women, we can only reach so many people, but I think our allies here today have huge audiences and really are influential and can really engage with populations we can't reach on changing the norms and the stereotypes about men and women, girls and boys in the country.
How many more subjects you plan to cover in the future, and how many more events could we see where these conversations somehow bring awareness to various subjects, or perhaps make people aware of their rights as well?
Yes. Well, actually, we hope many events. So not just ours, but actually our influencers. You know, they're going to be using their platforms to really raise more awareness on gender equality, and they'll do that in a myriad of ways. So, you know, the cricketers will be using cricket as a forum to you know, let people know about women's rights and women's issues, and women are just as good at cricketers as men. So we really are relying on them to use their own audiences to amplify the messages on gender equality.
China maintains a robust growth momentum in its renewable energy development since the beginning of 2024, with its total installed green energy capacity exceeding 1.6 billion kilowatts, as new breakthroughs are achieved continuously to provide strong impetus for green development.
A 1 million kilowatt offshore photovoltaic project has recently commenced construction in Bohai Sea. Over a dozen of construction vessels are laying more than 2 million solar panels across some 1,333 hectares on the sea surface. Upon completion, the solar panels will be generating an estimated 1.78 billion kilowatt per hours of electricity each year, while the space underneath will be utilized for aquaculture, which is expected to bring in an annual income of over 27 million yuan, about $3.77 million US. Meanwhile, the construction of the world's highest wind power generation and energy storage project started on July 31st on the Qinghai Tibet Plateau, which has an average altitude of 5,000 meters. With a total installed capacity of 100 megawatts, the project, located in Nakou City of southwest China's Xizang Autonomous Region, will be able to generate 237 million kilowatt per hours of electricity every year upon its completion, providing a reliable source for green energy supply. At the same time, in the first 6 months of this year, renewable energy power generation investment accounted for more than 70% of the power investment from key surveyed enterprises nationwide. As the scale of renewable energy continues to expand, new technologies and new models have kept emerging, and the pace of construction of China's new power system has accelerated significantly. In North China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region, the China's largest integrated wind solar storage demonstration project has recently been connected to the grid. With the help of integrated intelligent regulation technology, it can effectively solve the problems of large fluctuations and strong intermittency in new energy resources. At the same time, 5 provinces and autonomous regions in southern China have adopted the AI-based load forecasting system developed by the China's Southern Power Grid. It utilizes over 30 different AI algorithms to calculate the electricity load conditions for the next 10 days in the regions, providing precise forecasts of power dispatching. In the first half of 2024, over 80% of the increase in power generation nationwide came from renewable energy sources. The proportion of renewable energy power generation in China has increased from 32% recorded at the end of 2023 to 35.1% at present. According to the National Energy Administration, China will make further goals to ensure complementary and coordinated development of multiple renewable resources with equal emphasis on onshore and offshore power to speed up the green and low-carbon transformation of energy and power generation.
China is taking steps to help foreign visitors make full use of convenient payment options following a tourism boom in the first half of this year, with greater efforts being made to ensure international travelers have access to more seamless financial services and connectivity across the country.
The number of foreign tourists visiting China increased by more than 150% in the first half of this year, buoyed by the introduction of a series of visa-free policies for numerous countries, with over 14.6 million foreign arrivals recorded at Chinese ports of entry. Many of those arriving are enjoying the increasingly convenient payment options available in China, while mobile payments have become almost as natural as breathing. With the highest mobile payment penetration rate globally, China offers a seamless payment experience that can be surprising to many newcomers who are more used to pulling out cash and cards. In the popular southwestern city of Chengdu, new payment options have made it easier for international guests to navigate transactions. Several foreign visitors shared their experience of payments in China, with some saying they are sticking to using cash, while others are embracing paying on leading apps of WeChat and Alipay. Previously, foreign card payments could provide complicated at the point of scale, with multiple parties such as overseas card issuers, international card groups and domestic payment companies all involved. However, financial services firm UnionPay International has been instrumental in streamlining this process, enhancing the experience for global guests. Currently, more than 240 million UnionPay cards have been issued in 81 countries and regions, and about 200 UnionPay cooperative wallets have been launched in 36 countries and regions. China's quest to become a cashless society and the work to offer greater convenience to international travelers is being spearheaded by the country's leading online payment provider Alipay. Data from the People's Bank of China shows that mobile payment usage among foreign travelers is rising rapidly as these services gain traction among visitors. In the first half of 2024, over 5 million inbound visitors used mobile payments, a four-fold increase from the previous year, with more than 90 million transactions amounting to over 14 billion yuan, nearly $2 billion US. Payment institutions are also continuing to expand their networks and innovate.
Thailand's Parliament Secretary announces in an urgent notice to all members of Parliament that the Parliament will convene a special session to select a new Prime Minister.
This announcement comes after the Constitutional Court ruled on Wednesday that Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin's term had ended, along with his entire cabinet, due to a constitutional violation in the appointment of a minister. The court's decision, reached by a 5-4 vote, found that Srettha had violated the constitution in nominating Pechit Chuemban as a minister attached to the Prime Minister's office. A caretaker cabinet meeting took place on Thursday at the Government House. The acting Deputy Prime Minister has reportedly cut short an official visit to Kazakhstan and is due to arrive at Bangkok on Thursday. The Parliament's swift action to schedule a vote for a new Prime Minister underscores the urgency to restore political stability in Southeast Asia's second-largest economy.
Indonesian Minister of Defense Prabowo Subianto holds a meeting with the US Ambassador to Indonesia, Kamala Shirin, at his office in Jakarta this week, Thursday. The meeting discussed efforts to strengthen collaboration between the two countries.
The meeting was held at Prabowo's office at the Ministry of Defense, Jakarta. The meeting is also intended to introduce Kamala as the new US Ambassador to Indonesia. In the meeting, Prabowo said that cooperation between Indonesia and the US has been doing well. This is marked by numerous partnership programs between the two countries here. Prabowo said currently a total of 9 Indonesian military cadets are studying at the USNA, the United States Naval Academy, the USAFA or United States Air Force Academy, and USMA, the United States Military Academy. Prabowo said cooperation between Indonesia and the US in education sector has been established since 1967. At least there are more than 6,000 Indonesian military personnel, those who work at the Ministry of Defense, military personnel or TNI, and civilians have pursued education and training in the United States of America. Therefore, at the end of his remarks, Prabowo emphasized his plan to enhance cooperation between the two countries, especially in defense sector.
The National Research and Innovation Agency, BRIN, states that Indonesian government is committed to developing domestic research and innovation.
Head of the National Research and Innovation Agency, Laksana Trihandoko, said, BRIN and the Indonesian government is committed to developing domestic research and innovation by increasing fund and quality human resources for research. He also added that BRIN consumption and the use of fund from the Indonesia Endowment Fund for Education Agency, or LPDP, is much bigger because the scheme has begun. He also explained that earlier only around 100 billion rupiah was used annually, but this year almost 500 billion rupiah was channeled just for research, and this does not include equipment procurement. Handoko stated that the research funds are also supported by government commitment to providing research equipment, which come from both the state budget and truth cooperation scheme with the private sector. He explained that the commitment aimed to create quality human resources for research, not only for the government, truth ministry, and institution, but also for all stakeholders, including academics, the industry, and so on. In addition, Handoko highlighted that various BRIN research facilities also be utilized by academics, both lecturer and students, for conducting their research. Through those efforts, Handoko is optimistic that research and innovation will become fundamental factors in national development in the future.
Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida says he will not be running for re-election as president of his ruling Liberal Democratic Party LDP in September, marking the end of a 3-year term marred by political scandals.
Kishida's announcement comes amid revelations about the party's ties to the controversial Unification Church and more recently unrecorded political donations made at LDP fundraising parties. He also faced public discontent over the failure of wages to keep pace with rising living costs as the country finally shook off years of deflationary pressure. Whoever succeeds Kishida as LDP leader must restore the public's confidence in the party and tackle the rising cost of living, escalating geopolitical tensions with China, and the potential return of Donald Trump as US president next year. Through his stint as the country's 8th longest-serving post-war leader, Kishida broke from previous economic policy by eschewing corporate profit-driven trickle-down economics in favor of policies aimed at boosting household incomes, including wage hikes and promoting share ownership. He led Japan out of the COVID-19 pandemic with massive stimulus spending and also appointed academic Kazuo Ueda as head of the Bank of Japan (BOJ) to guide Japan out of his predecessor's radical monetary stimulus. The BOJ in July unexpectedly raised interest rates as inflation took hold, contributing to stock market instability and sending the yen sharply high. Kishida's premiership was marked by a rapidly changing security environment which pushed Japan to revisit its traditionally pacifist policy. He unveiled Japan's biggest military build-up since World War II with a commitment to double defense spending aimed at deterring neighboring China from pursuing its territorial ambitions in East Asia through military force. With prodding from Washington, Kishida also mended Japan's strained relations with South Korea, enabling the two countries and their mutual ally, the US, to pursue deeper security cooperation to counter the threat posed by North Korea's missile and nuclear weapons programs.
And with that, we conclude this edition of ABN News. Thank you all for watching. Hoping you all enjoyed the stories and insights we shared. From all of us here in PSM News, we bid you a good night.
Creating a news agenda that reflects an unbiased view of Asian current affairs without relying on external news sources. Asia Vision, Asian news through Asian eyes.